Hey, my name's Aditya, and in this video, I'll talk about what financial aid is, what the FAFSA and WASFA are, why you should do one, and what the application process will look like. I'll also tell you where you can go for support if you have questions or you need some assistance. So, what is financial aid? You might think money for college, which yes, but there's a little bit more to it than that. Many folks' dream jobs require that they get some type of schooling to get a certificate or degree that proves that they know their trade and they're qualified to do what they do. In fact, in 10 years from now, an estimated 70% of jobs will require some type of degree. So by now, you're probably considering applying to some type of college or educational program or post-secondary learning opportunity of some sort. This, I'm going to call it college, but this might be an approved apprenticeship program, a vocational or trade school, 2-year community or technical college, 4-year college or university, or other approved educational program, whatever it may be. Whether or not you plan to even consider applying for college, whatever that means for you, you should apply for financial aid to get the government, the college itself, and companies or other organizations to offer to help pay your tuition and make that program a little bit more affordable and accessible to you. Even if you're totally unsure of what you want to do, what route you want to take, or if you even want to go to college at all, that is totally normal. Applying for financial aid is always a good idea because it'll help ensure that you have more options when you decide what route you do want to take when the time comes. And when you're making that decision, you'll know exactly how much each program will have actually cost you, so you can make a fully informed decision about which one, if any, to go with. Remember, applying for financial aid is free and doesn't commit you to anything. You can always reject your offer, which is why financial aid is so great and why you should apply. There are a few types of financial aid money. Grant and scholarship money is free money that if you get, you don't ever have to pay back. A loan is money that does have to be paid back with interest, which means the longer it takes you to pay it back, the more you have to pay. Work-study awards are where you agree to work on campus part-time, say in a cafeteria or library, in exchange for tuition money. Generally speaking, grants and scholarships are the best because free money. Work-study awards are second best. And then if those aren't enough, you should consider loans. There are a few main avenues you can take when it comes to deciding who exactly you want offering you money to help pay for college, and what type of financial aid money you want to be offered. The FAFSA and WASFA are just one avenue for financial aid, but they're going to be your main avenue, where the federal or state government and the college itself will offer you some combination of grants, scholarships, loans, work-study awards, and in-state tuition. Completing the FAFSA or WASFA also qualifies you for a lot of other financial aid, including some private grants and scholarships, which are another great avenue for free financial aid money. Grants and scholarships are where the state government and various companies and organizations help you pay for college. There are literally tens of thousands of private scholarships out there created by all sorts of companies that want to help make college affordable to you. You basically just apply to however many you're physically able to, and if you get selected, you get hella free money. But some, such as the Washington State Opportunity Scholarship, do require that you fill out a FAFSA or WASFA and that you do it extra early. And keep in mind that like the FAFSA and WASFA, many scholarships give you money for just 1 year, so you would have to reapply every year to be considered for money that year. So those avenues, private scholarships and the FAFSA or WASFA, are typically your best avenues when it comes to applying for financial aid, and especially the FAFSA or WASFA. After you apply for private scholarships and the FAFSA or WASFA, You should wait for your financial aid offer letter from each of the schools you get into. Then, if you would like more aid, you can consider other options like starting a college payment plan or applying for private loans through a bank. Although that should be a last resort because the interest rates are often exorbitantly high, unlike FAFSA, which has low interest rates. Okay, so what are the FAFSA and WASFA? The FAFSA and WASFA are free applications for financial aid money. Again, that money is offered by the state or federal government as well as the college itself. Completing the FAFSA or WASFA is the single most important step in applying for financial aid and is the first step in the process of applying for financial aid money. You'll have to fill out one out every single year until you complete your education. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid and is the one you should do if you are a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen. The WASFA is the Washington Application for State Financial Aid. That is the one you should do if you are undocumented, have DACA status, or do not qualify, as an eligible non-citizen. That means that unless you yourself are undocumented, have DACA status, or do not qualify as an eligible non-citizen, you should fill out a 2021-2022 FAFSA. Otherwise, you should fill out a WASFA instead. Basically, you just fill out an application where you tell the government how much money you and your parents or guardians have. Then colleges may or may not offer you financial aid money in various forms. You use that information to help you get a sense of how much each school will actually cost you, and then you pick the school you want to attend and get to accept or reject the financial aid money that they offered. While you can't officially submit the FAFSA or WASFA until they open in October, there are some really important things you need to know and some steps you should definitely complete before then so that you can maximize the amount of aid that you're offered. Pause the video now and check out this flowchart to help you figure out which one you should fill out, the FAFSA or WASFA. Here it is again in Spanish if that is easier for you. So let's talk about a little bit about what the application process will look like for just the FAFSA and WASFA. Like I said, the FAFSA and WASFA open on October 1st, but before then, step one is to collect and prepare all of the documents and information you'll need to create an account and fill out an application. It's probably the most difficult step, but it's really important you start right away because you do want to get that FAFSA in really early. I have a whole video on what documents you need, so definitely check that out after you finish watching this. Step two is to create a FAFSA or WASFA account. You can actually do that right now as well. I have another whole video on that. And that way you can save time on October 1st, get a head start of everyone, be one of the first people to submit the application, again, so you can maximize your offer. That's step two. And step three is to actually log into our account and use all the information that we collected on October 1st to fill out a FAFSA or WASFA and submit it that same day. A lot of people ask me when the FAFSA and WASFA are due. And Google will tell you that the FAFSA is due June 30th, 2021. But that is a lie. The actual deadline for you is probably much sooner. Many states, colleges, and organizations have their own FAFSA and WASFA deadlines and require you to submit the FAFSA or WASFA much earlier to be eligible for aid. For example, if you want to qualify for the Washington State Opportunity Scholarship that I mentioned, which could offer you more than $20,000 a year of free tuition money, you need to submit your FAFSA as early as February 10th. UW requires that you submit the FAFSA or WASFA by January 15th. Don't listen to Google. And filling out the FAFSA or WASFA can be a really lengthy process. So in other words, you can't wait until the day that it's due and still manage to get it in. But none of that is really why you should start early. FAFSA money and some WASFA money are first come, first serve. That means that for your best chance at getting the most amount of financial aid money, submit your application as close to October 1st when it opens as you possibly can every single year. If you submit late, you could be offered less financial aid money, your offer could be delayed, or you could become ineligible for many scholarships. Okay, so once you do submit the FAFSA or WASFA, you can continue applying to schools and scholarships. And in the spring, after you've been accepted into those schools, you'll receive your financial aid offer letter from each school, where they'll offer you various amounts of various types of financial aid money. You are going to appeal that offer and hopefully get a new, better one. Check out my video on financial aid offer letters to see actual examples of financial aid packages and learn why you should appeal your offer. So then you'll get your new offer from each school, and you'll consult with yourself and your family to decide what is best for you. And then comes the fun part. You get to actually pick a school and accept or reject each type of aid that they offered based on what you think is best for you. Now, if you're still not convinced that you should start preparing right away to fill out a FAFSA or WASFA, let me holler at you for a second. You might think, hey, it's time consuming, or I'm probably not even eligible or don't qualify for financial aid money, so why go through the trouble? I'll tell you why. First of all, experts estimate that over 1 million students each year who would have been eligible for a Pell Grant, which offers up to $6,000 a year of free tuition money, never filled out the FAFSA. And of those students, 50% of those surveyed said it was because they didn't think they would be eligible for aid. In 2018, 13,000 high school seniors in Washington state alone missed out on over $50 million in free financial aid money because they didn't file a FAFSA or WASFA. Because of stuff like that, billions of dollars in free financial aid money goes unused and unclaimed each and every year. Not only that, but studies show that students who complete a FAFSA are 63% more likely to enroll in college than those who don't. And every $1,000 a student receives in free grant money increases the likelihood that they complete their degree by 4%. Also, you deserve this money. It belongs to you. You deserve access to free, if not affordable, higher education. And this money is yours. You deserve it. You should ask for it. And when you get it, you should ask for more. Chances are all of y'all are eligible for some type of aid, and many things you might not think of can increase the amount of aid that you're offered if you mention it in your application or your appeal. And remember, you don't have to accept all or any of the aid that you're offered, but you should at least know what that offer is so you can make a fully informed decision about your future. Also, things happen, and it's important to be prepared. An unexpected job loss, injury, or death in the family can impact your financial situation at any time. This actually happened to me. My dad passed away halfway through my senior year of high school, and having that FAFSA on file can give you a serious leg up just in case anything changes for you or your family. Okay, now go make your FAFSA or WASFA account. It legit takes 5 minutes, and start collecting and preparing all your information. And definitely check out my other videos if you want to learn more about the financial aid process and how to actually start the application process for FAFSA and WASFA. If you have any questions, please reach out to your counselor or the college access team. Check your email for more specific contact information. And with that, I'll let you go. Thank you for listening, and good luck.